Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Prabhupada परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 4, entitled Sati Quits Her Body, and text number 9. Arudra-bhagam tam aveksha chadvaram. Arudra-bhagam tam avesha chadram. Pitra cha deve krita helanam vibhau. Pitra cha deve krita helanam vibhau. Anadrita yagya sadasya adhishwari. Anadrita yagya sadasya adhishwari. Chukopalokan iva dakshati rusa. Chukopalokan iva dakshati rusa. Arudra-bhagam tam aveksha chadvaram. Pitra cha deve kruta helanam vibhau. Anadrita yagya sadasya adhishwari. Chukopalokan iva dakshati rusa. Arudrabhagam tamaveksha chadvaram Pitra cha deve kritahelanam vibho Anadrita yagya jadasya deshwari Shukopalokan ivadhyakshati rupa Mataji. Arudrabhagam tamaveksha chadvaram Pitra cha deve kritahelanam vibho Anadrita yagya sadasya deshwari Shukopalokan ivadhyakshati rupa. Word for word meaning. Arudrabhagam, having no oblations for Lord Shiva. Tam, that. Avekshya, seeing. Cha, and. Adhvaram, place of sacrifice. Pitra, by her father. Cha, and. Deve, to Lord Shiva. Krita Helanam, contempt having been shown. Vibhav, to the Lord. Anadrita, not being received. Yagya Shadasi, in the assembly of the sacrifice. Adeshwari, Sati, Chukopa, became greatly angry. Lokan, the 14 worlds. Eva, as if. Dakshati, burning. Rusha, with anger. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Present in the arena of sacrifice, Sati saw that there were no oblations for her husband, Lord Shiva. Next, she realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when he saw Lord Shiva's exalted wife, Daksha did not receive her either. Thus, she became greatly angry, so much so that she looked at her father as if she were going to burn him with her eyes. Purport. By offering oblations in the fire while chanting the Vedic mantra Swaha, one offers respects to all the demigods, great sages and pitas, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. It is customary that Shiva is one of those who are offered respects, but Sati, while personally present in the arena, saw that the Brahmanas did not utter the mantra offering oblations to Lord Shiva. Namah Shivaya Swaha. She was not sorry for herself, for she was ready to come to her father's house without being invited, but she wanted to see whether or not her husband was being respected. To see her relatives, her sisters and mother was not so important. Even when she was received by her mother and sisters, she did not care, for she was most concerned that her husband was being insulted in the sacrifice. When she marked the insult, she became greatly angry, and she looked at her father so angrily that Daksha appeared to burn in her vision. Om Jnanatimrandasya Gananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Thapitam Yena Bhulade Swam Rupa Sakadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Giri Yat Kripatam Hamande Shri Guru Dinataranam Vanchakalpadrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhujam Prabhuti Namini Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirushesha Shunyavadi Pashadeshtayani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. With your all devotees' blessings, I would like to glorify our Lordship and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We may prepare notes, but without blessings of Vaishnavas and spiritual master and Lord Krishna, we cannot glorify him. For example, Dhruv Maharaj, when Lord touched his lotus hand on his forehead, he could glorify Lord very nicely. He didn't go with the notes, how to glorify. So we may prepare, but ultimately Lord inspires. So it's for my own purification and pleasure of devotees and Lordship. I'll try to recite Bhagavatam. So here, in this section, we see now Mother Sati has gone to her father's place and sacrifice is being performed. And she saw that her husband, Lord Shiva, is not being respected properly. So she is angry. This verse and the next verse just gives information that how angry she is. And then following verses, we'll see how Mother Sati speaks to establish position of Lord Shiva, to make them aware, to make them realize that who are they dealing with, who Lord Shiva is. And she glorifies. So here we can see she is angry and she is going to speak very harshly. She is going to give left and right to her father. But that is not considered blasphemy. Rather, it is taken as being defensive to protect virtue of great devotee. It is not blasphemy. There is a difference between blasphemy and being defensive to protect someone, especially Vaishnavas, great Vaishnavas and our Lord. When we criticize someone or we blaspheme someone, it is due to our envy, our false ego, or our enmity. Those kind of feelings are nurtured in the heart, and it comes out into words, very harsh words. But here, Sati is trying to make them aware who Lord Shiva is. And that's why she is speaking very harshly. Over the few classes we have heard, many devotees have glorified Lord Shiva's position. So Lord Shiva is definitely not an ordinary jiva. We all know that from the presentation of Bhagavatam. How did all these things started? When in the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma procreated, many great personalities appeared from Lord Brahma. One of them was Lord Shiva, and of course Prajapati Daksha as well. They are brothers in that sense. And Prajapati had many daughters, and one of them was Mother Sati. So Brahma's suggestion was to accept it. Okay, I'll get her married to Lord Shiva. The main point was he thought that what kind of person this Lord Shiva is. He doesn't know even how to dress properly. He puts deer skin on his body, then wears some human skulls, garland made of human skulls, bones. Snake is all around, and he smears ashes from the crematorium, dead body. So these kind of things are considered very impure and inauspicious. Later, Mother Sati will clarify that. And even we hear Prabhupada also gives example. For example, sun is so powerful that even the filthiest place on the earth, people pass urine and stool, for example, and sewage is flowing on the ground. So if you pass through such area, you will get contaminated because of the smell and everything. You have to take bath. It's not considered clean. But that doesn't mean that sun is being contaminated by such places. In fact, that sun purifies and sterilizes such area to the point that that whole dirt, whole pollution has been taken away. So that's the power of sun. The sun never gets contaminated, but we do. But in Daksha's vision, he thought Lord Shiva is impure and contaminated because he does all these things. He forgot that Lord Shiva is an expansion of Lord Krishna, and he cannot be impure, although he appears to be like that. So that's how it started, and then there was a yajna happening. Lord Shiva was also present, and Daksha entered the arena. Everyone stood up to give him respect, but Lord Shiva. So that made him very upset, very angry, and he criticized Lord Shiva at that point. And then we know whole thing, cursing and counter cursing, and whole thing just gone bad, whole situation. And then for many thousands of years, they didn't see each other. And then another yajna was performed by this Prajapati. And Mother Sati wanted to attend that. But in this purport, we hear that her intention was not that she wanted to see her father, mother, sisters, and other relatives, and participate into great, grand sacrifice that is performed. Her main intention was to see whether Lord Shiva is being respected or not. Of course, she knew because Lord Shiva himself said that your father doesn't like me, so better not to go. But her purpose was to purify her father, deliver her father. That was her sole purpose. It's been revealed here in purport, and in subsequent verses we will see that. And also Daksha is being called as a personification of blasphemy. In one of the purports, Prabhupada writes that he personifies envy, he personifies blasphemy, personifies anger. And because of this quality, we'll see that he doesn't advance in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness. Later, he gets into trouble after this sacrifice. Not even is finished, within some time, Mother Sati quits her body, and then Lord Shiva sends Veerbhadra to kill Daksha and dismantle whole sacrifice. And Daksha is killed, and later on he gets goat's head. And then again, out of embarrassment, he quits that body, and then later on, in the next Manvantar, he becomes again Daksha. But that time he wasn't so powerful. He realized that. Then he performed another yajnas, and then he happened to see Lord Vishnu again. But still, his heart is not pure. Later on, we'll see in the future cantos that he end up even criticizing and cursing Narad Muni, right? So when we blaspheme and criticize unduly great devotees, we'll have that reaction. We'll not advance in spiritual life, or it will be very slow. And the significance of him getting goat's head was very interesting. Few times I was thinking, there is many incidents in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and many other places that the great Vaishnavas, they take grass straw in their mouth, and then they present themselves in front of great personalities. For example, Rupa Goswami, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before approaching that, he put a blade of grass between his teeth and then approached Mahaprabhu. What does that signify? I did ask few devotees, but then later on I found the answer, finally. Radha Govind Maharaj was mentioning this. So he says that signifies that you are considering yourself as an animal, as good as an animal. Animal is the symbol of ignorance. He doesn't know what is good and what is bad, what is supposed to be done, what is purpose of my life, and so on and so forth. He doesn't know. So he is very ignorant. Animal signifies ignorance. So when devotees take blade of grass in their mouth, they are showing, animals, they go and always they are eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. These four things are performed by animals. And you will see sometime, cows, when they walk, still some grass is stuck on their mouth. So even same with goat or any other animals who eat grass. And they walk around, they even don't know, after eating I should wash my face, for example, So they are symbol of ignorance. So Daksha is received that goat's head also signifies that he doesn't know what is the purpose of my life. I meant to serve Lord Krishna and elevate myself and go back to Godhead. And same time I must respect great devotees, and especially Lord Shiva. So he was given that animal's head. So one must be very careful in spiritual life. Being devotee, we should be very careful in our dealings. Vaishnava etiquettes, Mahaprabhu says, it's like ornaments of a devotee. We may be wearing, simple dhoti kurta, saris. We may not put up ornaments, but our real ornaments are our etiquettes, our behavior. And among all the items of our etiquettes, the way we talk, the way we deal with other devotees, and whatever we do, the most important item of our etiquettes is our speech. How we speak, that can change our life and the other person's life. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, we'll hear Sri Krishna describes austerity of speech. So that consists 4 items. How the speech in mode of goodness being identified. The first one is your speech has to be very truthful, absolute truthful. One shouldn't lie. This thing, in Kali Yuga, this is the only quality, actually speaking, left. All other qualities are gone. And the principle of dharma is being held by at least this one quality, still surviving. But even I have seen in my Krishna conscious life, we become so casual. Sometimes we don't realize even that I lied. But actually, subtly, slowly, we are breaking that leg of dharma by lying here and there. So one should be very truthful in our dealing. Second quality was our speech should not be agitating to others. It shouldn't agitate others. There is also a little difference there. One may speak and it may sound very harsh, but there's difference. Agitation means you are criticizing someone, and you are pulling down that person and hurting that person. That is agitation. One may speak that may because there's difference. Third quality is our speech should be very pleasant. So the difference between pleasant speech and non-agitating speech is that it may be pleasing. Our speech may be pleasing, but it agitates, and sometimes it agitates, but speech, it agitates, but you are not affected. You are not pleased either, neither displeased. So there is a subtle difference between these two. I may come to you and say, oh, that devotee, didn't do a very nice job, for example, he did like that. So you may hear, it's not agitating to you, but actually it's not pleasing. Right? And then if that person is present, and if you criticize that person in front of that is agitating, then of course it's not pleasing to that person either. But the third person, it may not appear as pleasing or non-pleasing. It's just neutral. So there is a little difference between that. What intention you have while speaking. So these are the three things. Your speech must be truthful, non-agitating, then very pleasing to other. And fourth one is it should be beneficial to that person. And the fifth one is also mentioned that always reciting Vedic scriptures. So these 5 items consist speech in mode of goodness. Very good speech it considered. And among these 5 items, what is the most important item? Anyone guess?
Useful.
Yes, beneficial, useful. So one may neglect other items according to time, place and circumstance, but one should not neglect this aspect, that your speech should always be very beneficial to the other person. So here in this case we see Sati, Mother Sati is speaking very harshly. It may appear very unpleasant and maybe even agitating. And of course she is speaking truth, no doubt about that. And from Shastra she is speaking. But most important thing is it is very beneficial to those who heard, and especially to her father. So that's the quality of what Mother Sati is going to speak. Another point being noted that Prajapati means he is supposed to look after all the citizens. Prajapati, Pati means one who takes care, who gives care and protects. And Praja means people in general, society. So Prajapati, that is his position. The responsibility he has been given is that of that he must look after and care for all these citizens. And for that reason only he is performing all the yagyas time to time for welfare of all the living entities. But here we see in that yagya itself great chaos happens, there's fight happens, and then to the extent it goes that his own daughter dies. Imagine. And he is not even protecting her own daughter, his own daughter. and he's supposed to basically look after all the citizens, but he's failed to protect his own daughter. So what kind of example he is setting? And later on, sages are very astonished that being Prajapati, he's supposed to look after all the citizens, but he couldn't protect even his own daughter. So what is that? It got perplexed. All the demigods and great sages were wondering what happened. So the reason is being given that Daksha became very hard-hearted. And why? Because of his great exalted position that was given by Lord Brahma. And being in that position, he developed a lot of false ego. And a lot of other qualities, bad qualities. Basically, it comes down to 6 enemies of Jiva. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsarya. These are the 6 enemies that bewilders Jiva and make them act very, very low class. So ultimately, these 6 enemies are the cause. Daksha was in that position, and because he was gaining puja, labh, pratishtha, adoration, fame, and respect, he became addicted to those kind of things. And rather than seeing the greater purpose in life, he is very much materially attached to all those things. And at the point when he didn't get that, he became angry and he blasphemed Lord Shiva. So one must be very careful. And Prabhupada writes, men sometimes become very, very hard-hearted and woman is soft-hearted. That's a general explanation, but every jiva, either woman or man, everyone is very much prone to get affected by all these bad qualities and prone to be attacked by these 6 enemies of jiva. In Ramayana we see Kaikeyi, for example, she became so hard-hearted that she is telling her husband, Dashrath Maharaj, that you give my son kingdom and banish Ram to the forest, and he should live like a sage. He shouldn't carry any opulence with him. And Dashrath Maharaj was shocked hearing that, and he tried to convince her so she could make some adjustment and change her mind and ask for some other boons, but she didn't. She was so hard-hearted that she didn't even give second thought what Dashrath Maharaj is saying. And to the point, Dashrath Maharaj was mentioning, I know Bharat will never take the kingdom, but still, I don't mind, I'll make Bharat king. But the second boon you are asking, I cannot accept. He is my life and soul. Lord Ram, I cannot live without him. Please, ask something else. But she didn't budge. And then Maharaj Dashrath saw that my time has come. Kal is speaking through her that, my time has come. Lord Ram will go away and that will cause my death. So he even predicted that, I'll die. But still, she was so blinded by these negative qualities. She couldn't see that she is going to become widow in few days. That is great loss for any married woman to lose husband. But she herself is becoming cause of her husband's death, and she is not able to see that. So this is how these lower qualities blind a person, that your immediate loss is also not being seen. And same thing happens with here in this case. Daksha is not able to see that in front of his eyes, his daughter is being, she quits her body and she is dead, and he is not able to stop. He became so hard-hearted. So these are the reaction. These are the manifestation of association with the bad qualities of material nature. And another point comes that Sati wanted to do good to her father, and she is speaking so harshly. This act of her is glorified. It is praiseworthy. It is not something to be looked down upon. It is praiseworthy. When it comes to Krishna consciousness, when you have two options, whether to take Krishna, whether to accept devotees or Guru and take their instruction and follow their path, or you have completely opposite. You may get a lot of adoration, name, fame, respect, opulence. Take up Krishna and devotees and Krishna consciousness and give up everything. There is one beautiful song in Gujarati written by Narsim Mehta, and he says that Kod tajiye, kutumb tajiye, tajiye mane bapre, bhagini sut dara tajiye, now tajiye harinamre. So like that. So he mentions that Kul means dynasty. One should be ready to even give up dynasty. One should be ready to even give up family. And even mother and father, even brother, wife, husband, sister, whoever they are, no matter. So one should be ready to give up all those things if they are not favorable to your Krishna consciousness. But one should not give up holy name, Harinam. And there are many examples in the Shastra itself. And then in that poem itself, he one by one establishes what he said. He establishes the truth from the Bhagavatam, and he gives example. Pratham Pita Prahlad Etajiyo. Prahlad gave up his father for Krishna. Bharat Shatrugna Tyaji Janeta. Bharat and Shatrugna, they gave up their mother for Lord Ram. And Dasrat Maharaj gave up his wife, Kaikai. He said, as long as I live, don't show me your face. Like that. Because it was such a hard thing to accept. And then Guru Patni, Brahman Patnis, they gave up their husbands for Lord Krishna. And then he gave Rajvanita, Sarve Tyaji. Rajvanita, gopis, they gave up everything for Lord Krishna. So here we see Mother Sati is exemplifying that. She is pet daughter of her father, and her father is great personality. But for sake of establishing the position of Lord Shiva and to give him justice and favor, she even gave up her father. She doesn't want to have any relationship with him. And the body is given by her father, that also gives her pain. Sometimes Lord Shiva calls her by name Dakshayani, so daughter of Daksha. So when Sati hears that, she feels pain. Because she knew, Daksha is not he's a personification of blasphemy. And I have some connection with him, so she doesn't like that. So she gave up even her father. And someone can ask, Mother Sati is a Maya Devi personified. She is Maya Devi. She is so powerful. Here the word the name given to her is Adhishwari. Adhishwari means very powerful person. So she has, one of the purports you will see, she has capacity to even annihilate many, many universes and many, many dakshas like this. And why she didn't do that? She would have easily killed Daksha. And even she is very, she basically controls whole universe and puts everyone into illusion. But it appears that she herself is being illusioned. She got into illusion, and she commits suicide. Suicide is varjit, it's forbidden according to Shastra. Why she committed suicide? So someone can ask all these questions. But the reason is, if she kills her father, then it will bring bad name to her husband. Then people will say that, see, Lord Shiva is not powerful. What Daksha was saying is correct. He is just an ordinary jiva. And he used Sati to kill Daksha. He sent his wife to go and kill Daksha. So that will bring bad name to Lord Shiva. So Mother Sati is thinking like that, and that's why she didn't kill, to retain the glory of Lord Shiva. And then why she committed suicide? Why not other things? It says that when someone is blasphemed, especially great devotee, there are 3-4 ways one should deal. One is you defeat that person by argument, or you leave that place immediately. Don't hear any blasphemy and criticism. You just leave that place. Second thing you do is you cut their tongue and kill them. The Shastra says kill them. And the third, fourth reason is, fourth thing you should do is you kill yourself. These are the way you should deal with if you encounter a blasphemer. And it has been said that who should do what. So for Brahmana, they should either argue and defeat that person or immediately leave. They shouldn't kill that person, or neither they shouldn't cut that tongue. They shouldn't do. And they shouldn't commit suicide either. Because if they do that, then the other person will get the sin of killing a Brahmana. So they should be very, very careful. So they should either establish the truth by argument or leave the place. But Kshatriyas, they have power and they have authority, so they should cut the tongue and kill that person. They should do that. And the Vaishyas and Sudras, they should kill themselves. They shouldn't take any of the other approaches. So Sati is considering herself to be low-born. In her utmost humility, she considers, I am low-born. Bhagavad Gita, in the 9th chapter, Krishna says, Striyo, Vaishya, Tatha Shudro. So he puts these 3 categories into low-born, inferior births, basically. So Sati considers that she is inferior by birth. So she didn't take, although she has established the truth of Lord Shiva by arguing. But Daksha didn't accept. She didn't want to kill because she didn't want to bring ill name to Lord Shiva. So then later on she committed suicide. So these are the few points in glory of Mother Sati, and what we are supposed to do and what not. It's almost 9 o'clock, just 5 minutes left. If anyone has any question, please ask. Any clarification or any?
You're saying Mother Sati is Maya.
Yes.
And so she's the same personality as Parvati and Dasa.
Yes. So she will take birth again as a daughter of Himalaya. And she will again unite with Lord Shiva. So she is same person. And even Daksha, when he takes birth again, he blasphemes and criticizes Narad Muni. But he is same person basically, in different avatar. Yes, Prabhu.
Two questions. Like first one, what does it mean when we say like truthfulness is the last lack of religion?
What is what?
What does it mean? Like what is the meaning when we say like truthfulness is the last lack of religion?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Religion is standing. In first canto we hear that Dharmaraj is taking form of a bull, and 4 legs represents 4 virtues: truthfulness, cleanliness, then mercy and austerities. Yes, these are the 4 legs on dharma stands on. So as time passes, these 3 qualities, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness, has been vanquished. We see a lot of slaughterhouses going around, so there is no mercy left. A lot of illicit sex is happening, no cleanliness is there, internal, external, and intoxication. Liquor, alcohol is very prominent in society, so that is also gone. But there is some truthfulness left. Still, even in material world, karmi people, they afford some kind of truth. Recently, I heard the news. I was looking on internet, and just a few days back, Apple company sacked one of his engineers because he leaked iPhone 10. So some video he put up on the internet. His daughter put up on internet, and he breached the privacy law, for example, and he got sacked. So, yeah, people uphold some kind of truth, even in karmic world. That's what I want to say. Although purpose is completely different. And so, in spiritual life, also, people have this is the only quality left in little minute quantity in Kali Yuga. So one should be very careful to protect at least this last quality which is left in the Kali Yuga. But for devotee, we are upholding all the qualities basically. We are following all 4 regulatory principles. That is actually representing these 4 legs of dharma. So unless we become sinless, pure in our activities, we cannot proceed further in Krishna consciousness. That following 4 regulatory principles makes us human being, and from that we can elevate further to Krishna consciousness. So these are must. It is prerequisite for any devotee. Yeah. So, but yeah, in general, we are very careful. No illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, and no meditating. But truthfulness, I have seen, we just casually lie so many times here and there in our dealings, and we don't even realize. So that's why I pointed out. One should be very careful in being truthful. Any other questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Why does Shiva have a snake on his neck?
Why does he have snake on his head, around his neck? Is there any explanation, Prabhu, in Samudra Manthan, Leela? Why Lord Shiva has snake around? Please. Okay.
The Naga is the expansion of Sankarshan. Sankarshan comes for annihilation time. It's the sadhana. So to remind himself of the Lord, he always
one little humor comes in my mind. If you allow, I can tell. Radha Govind Maharaj said that. So one kavi, one poet, it says kavi means, jana paunche Ravi, tyan paunche kavi. Where sun even can't reach, the kavi, the poet reaches there. And it says like that. So he made up like that, no blasphemy to Lord Shiva. But Maharaj was explaining in a nice way, just a joke in between class. So he said, Lord Shiva, why he drank poison? So this kavi, this poet is telling that, see, Lord Shiva has a bull as his carrier. He rides on the bull. Mother Parvati has a tiger. A tiger or lion? Lion. Tiger, okay. Lion, it's not tiger. So this tiger is always keeping eye on that bull. When can I eat that? And then his sons, one of them has a mouse, and one of them has peacock. So this, and then Lord Shiva has a snake around his neck. So this snake is always keeping eye on that mouse. When can I eat that? So Lord Shiva has to, keep him, under control all the time, around his arm and like that. So it doesn't let loose and go and eat the mouse, And then that peacock wants to eat the snake. So there's always, some trouble going on in between. And then time to time, Mother Parvati, I want to go to my father's house, please come, I want to do this and that. So ultimately he got fed up, oh my God, I don't want to deal with all these things. So that's why he went and drank the poison, It's too much dealing with wife and all this, paraphernalia. Just end my life. So this is just imagination of the kavi, but reality is something else. Okay. Granth Raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya.